Hello, DigiFam! It's Prodigious back with another round of the Digital Gate tournament that I'm having on my channel. So today's matchup is going to be the Raid WarGreymon Toolbox deck versus Rapidmon X. So let's get into it and we'll take a look and see how the match goes. Alright, so we're rolling to see who goes first here. Rapidmon got a 6. Versus a 3. So it looks like Rapidmon is going to be going first in the first half of the game. Decks have already been pre-shuffled. Now we're just dealing out our hands and seeing if we want to do a possible mulligan. Let's see here. Alright. So it looks like Rapidmon's going to keep its hand. Put out its security next. Alright, now it's going to be time for the Raid WarGreymon deck to do the same. Check its hand, see if it wants to do a mulligan, and then do security. Alright, so it is good with its hand. It's going to set its security next. Alright. So decks are set. Digital Gate. Open. So hatch into a egg for Rapidmon X. I think it's a Gummymon, I think is the name of it. Gonna evo into a Terriermon X antibody. Then go ahead and just put out a memory setter right away. Let's see, they put out the Henry Wong. That is a memory setter and says that when you attack with something that has WarGreymon or Rapidmon in name, you can suspend the opponent's Digimon. The Raid WarGreymon will put out the Star Deck Agumon as its egg, Evo. Play out a tie memory setter and then go into a Greymon. So both the Agumon and Greymon are from the Star Deck that came out a while back that has the advanced deck, or not advanced deck, but the memory stuff. Black. Anyway, can't talk. So Rapidmon's turn comes up. It goes ahead and pushes out. Let's see. Looks like he's trying to figure out what move to make here. Alright, it's going to go ahead and play a Double Typhoon option card. It'll cost 3. Get to look at the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 green Tamer and then 1 dual color green Digimon card. And then with that, he's going to go ahead and evo into a Gargomon to pass turn. Which technically he should have only put the opponent at 1, but I guess it doesn't matter. Alright, so Agumon or Greymon pushes out and then evos into a Greymon X. And he's going to play out the black tie that gives you good stuff for whenever you play a Agumon or Greymon type of deal. Or evo, I should say. And gives you blocker. Alright, going to go ahead and evo into the same starter deck version of Metal Greymon. It'll be reduced by 1, and then he'll gain a memory thanks to the tie. So that was a 1 evo into a level 5. Rapid Deck's turn. He goes to 3. Hatches. Evos into a Terriermon, the one from the advanced deck. Alright, he's going to go ahead and give himself jamming with the Gargomon effect, as well as suspend the Metal Greymon so he can't even block. Gets that one hit in and survives. Not that he has much to worry about against a rookie insecurity. And then he's going to hard play a Terriermon. This is the one that lets you look at the top 3 and add a dual color green card. Failed to find, but at least he's got a body on board. Alright, now he's got to figure out what he wants to do to pass the turn. So he's managed to get a couple bodies on the board. Oh, he's going to Evo that same Terriermon into the Rapidmon Gold Armor form, the first one. He gets the -5 DP on something, but not enough to make a difference and pop anything. So going over to Greymon's turn, he unsuspends. And looks like he failed to go ahead and hatch. I guess he was too focused on other plans, or maybe he didn't have a rookie in hand. Alright, he's going to go ahead and just swing with that Metal Greymon. He's already played a second tie, so now he has 2 ties that can give him reimbursements when he Evos and give his Agumons and Greymons blocker. He goes ahead and just swings into the Gargomon just to get that annoying thing off the field. I guess he doesn't like that jamming. And then the past turn, he plays another tie. This is the Black Star Deck memory setter that will give him the ability that when something gets redirected, he can give something a plus 2,000 DP and draw a card. So he's got 2 memory setters on board. The one that gives you Security Attack Plus once you have enough red sources on your red Digimon, or just enough sources underneath your red Digimon, and the other one. So Rapid X moves out the Terriermon. He's going to play a Davis from BT17. That's going to enable him to give the Rapidmon a plus 2k DP boost, and then he's going to pop the Double Typhoon and play out a... Let's see. Oh, no, wait. He's actually taken that back just a little bit. He wants to redo the sequence of that. He's actually going to go ahead and use the Terriermon to let him play out the Davis for only 2 cost instead of it being the 4/4. Then he'll use the Davis to play out a Terriermon, or not Davis, but the Double Typhoon. And then he's going to use that Terriermon to play out a Lopmon. So yeah, a certain sequence of things, but in the end, he's managed to go from 1 body, moved out, and then managed to get 2 more bodies on the field. So now he's going to use the Lopmon to give the Rapidmon an alliance. Can't talk. Swing with the Rapidmon, and then use the inheritable underneath that to let you Evo mid-swing since he's using alliance, to get 2 checks while going into Rapidmon X. Alright. So he's going to just give anything that suspends on the opponent's board a negative -4. Okay, got those 2 checks, and it looks like he managed to go ahead and just pass the turn by Evoing into a Gargomon. So yeah, just doing a quick readjustment of the memory here to make sure everything got played out like it should have. Yep. Okay. All right. So he's going to go ahead and hatch this time. And he's also going to Evo that Metal Greymon into the Raid WarGreymon that we all know and love. Now, it will cost him 4, but he can tap down the 2 ties to gain back some memory. And I'm assuming since that's the only Greymon Agumon on his field, he's giving it blocker thanks to the ties. So while he's still able to maintain turn, he's going to go ahead and swing. Question is he going to go for the security or go for a body? He's going to get -4 from just suspending to attack, so he goes from a 14k down to just a 10k. Alright, he's actually going to use Raid and redirect to the X antibody, but then tap the tie to get an extra DP boost. That way he can make it Armor Purge and get that body off the field. And actually, no, the Raid WarGreymon is actually even bigger than that since he actually evoed this turn. I forgot he does get a plus 3000 DP and reboot for the turn when he evos. So he was already plenty big enough. He unsuspends. He's going to Evo in the raising into an Agumon X, and then into a Greymon, and then into a Greymon X antibody. Just trying to get some cards in hand and get some resources to Toolbox another body. Alright, now he's going to swing again. Now, I do believe he's actually managed to forget that he does have 2 inheritables in his stack, because he could have gained back an additional 2 memory during that first swing on redirecting. So that means technically he would be at 4 memory right now. Alright, he goes ahead and just aims for the security with that swing, and then to pass turn he evos into Metal Greymon in the raising. So actually, the Metal Greymon right now, he can hit pretty hard. He's capable of doing at least 2 checks. No, actually 3 checks because of the inheritables, plus the tamer. So he's pretty strong. His only problem is he has to contend with all these other bodies on the board. And he's already gotten some chip damage done to him, so yeah, quite unfortunate. I don't see how the WarGreymon deck is going to come out of this one. The Rapid X deck just got too much bodies on board, just too much value right away. Alright, so he puts an egg out, he plays another Henry, this time the starter deck version, I think. Evos another Terriermon into the other starter deck version of Rapidmon. Swings with the Gargo. I guess he forgot to give the Gargo jamming for the turn, I guess, because apparently it died. Alright, so now back over to the WarGreymon player. He pushes out a raising. Now he's got 2 bodies. He's going to swing. He's going to raid into the one of the Rapidmon Gold Armor forms to make it Armor Purge. And if he had a Tamer in hand, he could actually use the Metal Greymon's raid effect to let him play another Tamer. Alright, so now he's trying to figure out his next play. Oh, okay, here we go. He's figured out something. Ooh, he is actually playing Hades Force. So if you have X Antibody, the actual option card in your sources, it costs less, but he's paying the full price for it. selecting his Raid WarGreymon with a play cost 12. That's going to allow him to delete up to 12 play cost worth of Tamers, which pretty much wipes all the Tamers off of the Rapidmon's board and enables it to still swing. So he's going to swing. He's going to raid. Go into the other Rapidmon. Get to unsuspend. Question is he going to tap that tie to get an extra DP boost and a card draw? I mean, he might be fine without it. I'm also going to assume, thanks to the two Greymon bodies on board, he's actually dedicating the tie effects to actually give each of them 1,000 and make them both blockers. Alright, so Rapidmon goes ahead and just evos a Terriermon back into a Rapidmon. He has no Tamers to get the effect of suspending and minusing anything. And that's pretty much it for him since he has no Tamers. Back over to the Greymon player, he goes ahead and evos his egg into the adventure version of Agumon. Too bad he didn't have that in the Raid WarGreymon stack. That way he could constantly have that reboot instead of just a one-time thing when he evos. He's going to swing with Metal Greymon, raid, tap the tie so he can get a DP boost and a card draw. So he didn't do it last time. Oh, wait. So he's going to Mega Gargomon Ace. That's why he evoed that Rapidmon, so he's able to do that. So he's able to spin down a tie and the other Digimon, unsuspend himself if he wasn't already unsuspended, and still block. And that just takes out that second body. Okay. So now the Raid WarGreymon is just kind of stuck. He can't swing thanks to that Mega Gargomon Ace. Alright. So let's see here. He evos in the raising into a Greymon and then Metal Greymon. Just trying to get her body on board and ready to go for next time. But that's assuming if there is a next time. Oh, he's going to go ahead and just play out a Agumon. Agumon X, that is, just to do a little bit of digging, try and grab a card. That's pretty much all he can do. Now let's see if the Rapidmon X deck has any other plans, or if he's ready to finish this. Because he technically has game. He's got at least 3 bodies on board against a 2 security, so unless there's some sort of random security bomb, he's probably got it. Alright, so he evos in raising into a Terriermon. He's going to use the Terriermon that he has on board to go ahead and play out a Henry for 2 less. Then he's going to use the Lotmon to give the Mega Gargomon Alliance, swing with it, and then tap the Terriermon for the Alliance to swing for 2 checks. Let's see, he gets a tie out of that, and just an Agumon. So, yep. All he has to do now is just swing with the Lotmon, or even with the Mega Gargomon Ace, since it will unsuspend, and that is game for round 1 on that one right there. Alright, so a little side note, whenever you see an Agumon or Gabumon figure laying on either side of the playmat, that basically means that that particular deck won the previous round. So both decks are now going to get shuffled up again, and since the Greymon deck lost, he gets to choose if he wants to go first or not. Greymon likes his hand, so he's going to go ahead and just put his security. Rapidmon's going to go ahead and get his hand, see if he likes it, or do a mulligan. Let's see what he does. So yeah, he's happy with his hand. Puts out security. Alright. Time for round 2. Alright, so Greymon will go first. He hatches, goes into the Star Deck Agumon, the one that can gain memory when something gets redirected. Then evos into an Agumon X, just to get that additional draw. Then go into a Greymon, also from the same Star Deck. And that will pass turn. Alright, so here comes the Rapid X player. He hatches, goes into a Terriermon, the one that has the inheritable that works with Alliance. Yeah, I have to admit, the first couple of turns is not that exciting when both players are just kind of trying to choke each other. That or someone gets super generous and gives you a lot of memory. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and just Evo and raising that Terriermon into a Rapidmon from the Star Deck. Pass turn, put them at 1. Greymon comes out. Evo's into Greymon X, so he's got almost all the X antibodies in that one. Evo's into the Raiding Metal Greymon, and that'll pass turn. Alright, so Rapid pulls out a raising. He's got 2 memory to work with. Question is, can he make the most of it? Oh, he's going to actually play 1 memory for a Fire Rocket option card that you can use whenever you have an Armor Digimon on board, despite the color, and then a dual color Digimon gets +1 security attack, swings with it. Unfortunately, he did hit a big old WarGreymon, armor purges, but since he's still alive, that second check will still go through. Alright. Just going to go ahead and Evo into Gargamon. And technically, it should be suspended, but I guess that'll get caught on later. Alright, so hatch, Evo into a Agumon from Adventure. Alright. And let's see, he's at 1 memory. He'll go ahead and swing. Pardon me. Gonna use that raid and go into that Gargamon. Gain 2 memory from it. So yeah, it seems like the last game he didn't really get much memory usage off of the inheritables, so it looks like they might have forgotten that quite a bit. But he's remembering it this time, so he's got that. Now, if he had a Tamer in his hand, he could have played 1 since that Metal Greymon lets you do it when you raid. Alright, and now he's actually going to Evo into a WarGreymon that came out of a Liberator set. I believe it was Owen. So that particular version of WarGreymon has Blocker, Rush, and Raid. And then he'll Evo into a Greymon X antibody in the back to pass turn. Alright. So Evo's into a Rapid in the breeding area. Looks like he's going to play the game of just staying and raising for right now. I kind of would too if you have a bunch of bodies that all have raid and you don't have a bunch of tamers or cards that help you pop a bunch of bodies out like you did last time. Alright, he's just going to pass turn, it looks like. Yep. I guess he didn't want to make anything to give him just a free body and a bunch of memory, so sometimes it's just better off just pass turn. Greymon pushes out that Greymon X antibody. Evos into the raid Metal Greymon. Going to get that discount thanks to that limit 1 per deck limit 1 per deck Greymon X. Alright, so now he's just going to swing into security. And looks like he forgot to draw for his egg. I think he's running the egg that says when you just swing with a Agumon or Greymon named Digimon, you automatically draw, not so much having to wait until you hit a security card. Swings with the Metal Greymon, hits a Rapid X, so that poor thing dies. And he just passes turn, gives it back over to the Rapid. Rapid pushes out. So now that he's got his Rapidmon on the field, he must have something he can Evo into or something he can do. Okay, first he's going to hard play a Terriermon, then use a Terriermon's effect to play out a Davis, or not Davis, but a Henry for only 2. Let's see, so he was at 3 memory, he played that, then he used that to play the Henry, so that should actually make it go over to the opponent's turn. Okay, so we got a little mess up here on turns of the memory gauge, unfortunately. I hate it when that happens in the games, but a lot of things trying to be kept track of. Alright, so unfortunately that means he just didn't catch it. He evos into a Rapid X, proceeds to suspend and just swing into the WarGreymon, even though he technically shouldn't have been able to. Alright, so Raid WarGreymon hatches, evos into an Agumon, then into a Greymon. Plays out a Memory Fixer tie. I guess he's tired of finally getting choked. Alright, so Rapid unsuspends, he hatches. Evos into a Lopmon back in the raising. Uses Terriermon's effect to go ahead and play out the Henry now instead of later. Alright. So yeah, I think that's how it actually happened. Okay, so yeah, he didn't even play out the Henry with the Lopmon because he wanted to go into the Rapid X. Alright, so it didn't get messed up that badly in terms of memory after all. Alright. Well, he evos a Terriermon into Terriermon X after using its effect to play out the Henry. And then he swings with Rapidmon X, and ooh, he hits a Hades Force. Armor purges. So he's still on board, but no longer have the Rapid X. Alright, he goes ahead and just plays a starter deck. Oh, I keep on calling him Henry. Okay, so previously I made a mistake. He used the Lopmon to play out the Willis from the movie, and now he's past turn by playing a Henry. God, I can't get my names right. Alright, he pushes out, evos into a Metal Greymon from the starter deck, And that at least gives him a body on board. And in the past turn, he plays a tie. This is the one that says your vaccine types at the start of your turn get a plus 2000 DP boost on one Digimon. And then when your security card is removed, you gain a memory. Rapid goes ahead and just pushes out the Lopmon. Alright, this is when you gotta be really careful when that Rapid X has both Lopmon and then some sort of Terriermon shenanigans on board, because that's when they can start flooding that board and getting to where they can hit bodies. Alright, he's going to give the Rapidmon Alliance Evo the Terriermon X into a Rapidmon Gold Armor. Use its effect to actually make their memory cost 1 less, so it's 2 instead of 3. He will swing and suspend for Alliance the Lopmon. Now, he does have the inheritable that says if he alliances, he can Evo. So let's see, can he go into something? Yep, he goes into a Rapidmon X mid-swing with the Alliance. Alright, so that immediately suspends the Metal Greymon, so it can't even block. And he's just going to swing into it. Now, I think technically that probably shouldn't have played out like that. So, yeah, I don't think he could actually swing into it mid-swing after it's been suspended by the digivolving effect. So that might be a timing issue. So I was incorrect about the memory stuff before, but yeah, it looks like the Rapidmon X deck definitely did something kind of questionable there. Alright, so Greymon's turn. He hatches, evos into an Agumon, and then goes into the original Star Deck Greymon, and then into a Greymon X antibody. So he's just trying to climb and get as many pieces as he can. Passes turn by going into a Metal Greymon from the Star Deck again. So this next body, when it comes out, it can do quite a few checks. Alright. Only problem is, again, we're looking at the same scenario as last time. The Greymon deck is down to only 2 security, and the Rapidmon deck has at least 3 bodies on board. Alright, so except for the questionable play of being able to swing into the Greymon to just kill it straight out. Let's see, he evos the Lopmon into a Rapidmon from the advanced deck after giving him Alliance. Or no, it looks like he gave the other Rapidmon, the regular non-X version, that, and then he swings with the Lopmon version of Rapidmon and swings for game. Okay. So the only thing there that I can see that happened that was incorrect was that the Rapid deck technically, I think, couldn't have been able to swing into the Greymon, but if he did want to stop the security hit from happening, or maybe he actually did block with him. Oh yeah, that's right, that Greymon does have blocker, doesn't it? Okay, so never mind, that wasn't a legal move at all. Good, alright. I thought there was some shenanigans going on there for a second. Nope. Okay, so that's what happened. He actually blocked with the Metal Greymon. So it had its DP minused, but I mean, it had to protect its security, so. Yep, so in the end, our winner is the Rapid X deck for that round. Alright, so just another quick reminder, if you are enjoying this new content that I'm bringing to you now, please stay tuned and definitely make sure you like, subscribe, and comment down below if you want to see a certain type of matchup. But otherwise, I will see you next time.